Reserve rights. So, reserve rights, this is quite an interesting one because it's basically real world assets. The use case is sort of getting a stable currency that doesn't inflate like the dollar does, that's not got the insane volatility that we see in the crypto market. It's a bit more stable. They bundle real world assets. So it's quite an interesting premise. So I want to take a look at what they may be able to do in this bull cycle. Before I get into it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what the spreadsheet is, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. When I did the vids, I showed myself buying these coins. These were coins that I expected were going to make me very good money. If you'd have done the same, if you'd have popped $100 into the coins when I released the videos, you'd have been getting in at these prices. If you'd held for 16 months, you'd have been getting out at these prices, and this is what your profit would have been from $100 into each one. So if you'd have done 100 into all 26, your total profit in under a year and a half would have been over 123 grand, which is pretty bloody incredible. Now, again, this was in an 18-month window. We're in a bull cycle right now. So if you don't have your portfolio sorted, check out copymycrypto.com. That's the site I run where I share with my members the coins that I own. So whenever I find a coin that I think is going to make me a lot of money, I jump onto my site, I tell my members about the coin that I'm going to buy, the profits I think that coin can have, the price that I'm going to buy that coin at. And when I sell a coin, I also tell my members what coin I'm selling and at what price. What this means is my members get in on cryptos at the same price as me, they get out of cryptos at the same price as me, and they don't have to do any work. They make the exact same profit with no work at all. If you want to see the success stories, that's on the site, along with, what we've gotten into in the past. And the reason that there are thousands of members on the site is the profits that are being made. And this year is going to be no different. We're already in a bull cycle. So again, if you don't have your portfolio sorted, now is the time to do something about it. Because if you're looking at waiting, a couple of months, you're going to be too late. You're going to have missed out on a ton of profit. So have a read through the site because it may well be able to help you out, guys. So Reserve Rights is an ERC20, and it serves two main purposes. The over-collateralization of the reserve stablecoins through staking and governing them through voting on configurations. And the Reserve Rights token was launched following a successful IEO on Huobi. So it's used for the governance, the governance for reserve stablecoins. RSR holders can vote, obviously, on everything that's being proposed. And in order for RSR holders to provide over collateralization, they can decide to stake on any one R token or divide their RSR by staking on multiple R tokens. In return for providing this first loss capital, RSR stakers can expect to receive a proportion of the revenue the R tokens create. Now, as a general rule, our reserve rights stakers can expect higher APYs than the bigger market cap. The bigger the market cap of the R tokens they stake on becomes. So it's kind of like you want to pick the right asset within the R tokens ecosystem if you're looking at staking to try and get the best returns. The founders are Nevin Freeman and Matt Elder. Freeman's the CEO and seasoned entrepreneur. Elder, on the other hand, is an experienced engineer. He's worked at Google and Quixie. He's now the chief technical officer. And they've grown pretty bloody well. And what they are, as I said, doing is they're trying to create a more stable crypto, like a currency that we can use. They don't want it inflationary like fiat currencies globally. You look at the US dollar, it's one of the most inflationary currencies at the moment. And they don't want the insane volatility of something like Bitcoin. So they bundle stocks, they bundle bonds, they bundle gold, real estate and more into an index and use that as the money. So you're buying a big bag of groceries and paying with a tiny slice of all the world's assets. That's kind of the principle. But they're not building the currency directly. They built the reserve protocol, which lets anyone create a token backed one-to-one by a collection of other tokens in just a few minutes without writing a ton of code. Until all real-world assets are tokenized, which We hope will happen, but obviously many regulatory hurdles stand in the way. This protocol is best used for rolling DeFi assets together to create yield-bearing stablecoins and other composite assets. But as real-world assets become more and more tokenized, and that is happening, and we're starting to see the move forward in that. If you go to any crypto conference these days, the biggest talking point at the moment is real-world assets and how they are being implemented, and how the beginning of tokenization is occurring, and that is happening across the board with regards to every asset going. And as more regulations come into place, there's going to be more requirements for certain levels of transparency, and that is where stuff like blockchain technology comes in. Now, reserve rights actually gives you a real opportunity to earn. So you can compare reserve against a number of different projects, but as of right now, pretty good, right? Cumulative total our token market cap is $124 million. The total value locked is over $156 million. The cumulative staked reserve rights income has been over 1.1 million. And as you can see, you can see the returns when you're staking. So if you stake RSR for this ETH plus version, you can get 9.1%. That's your estimated APY. If you're using the EUSD, you'll get 6.2%. So these are not bad percentages. The earn mechanisms are far better in terms of yield, but obviously there are bigger risks at play when you're using an earn mechanism, because the earn mechanisms are based upon utilizing the pools, and obviously the pools have things like impermanent loss as a risk. So this is beefy finance. So this is the reserve rights with a based ETH, and the APY is 206%, but as you can see, the total value locked is only 99.5 grand. So liquidity becomes kind of an issue. So this is based ETH, as a base ETH on base, I believe. ETH on base. And so you've got to be aware of total value locked. And when you tend to see the higher APYs with pools that have much less money in them. You tend not to see these huge percentage APYs when there's a lot of value locked, but the more value locked, the safer you're going to be. But I mean, there's a great example of a really strong APY is 30.3%, and this is with with two stable coins, with the $2 stable coins. So 30% return is fantastic. And that's via Aerodrome. Again, that's on base. You've also got a 48% return for this one, again via Aerodrome, via base. And base at the moment, it seems to be by far and away giving the best percentages. There's a good one on Convex there, but generally percentage returns are pretty good. So if you're looking to sort of gain a little bit, try and earn some more cash, if you're going to do it, two stablecoin pools are certainly a better way to go than any other way being considered. Obviously, these are R tokens, so you do have to be aware of the level of liquidity that they have. So if we're talking about the electronic dollar, current market cap is 22.5 mil. That's not too bad at all, so you'd be fairly safe on that. US dollar, 641,000, so it's a lot less. So it's just being aware of your risks if you're going to participate. You do not want to be in a situation where you are, in theory, in heavily on a token that doesn't have enough liquidity. As a concept, I really like this. I also am intrigued by how this is going to grow over time, because at the moment, as you can see, it's still not on Coinbase, and I do think there is a very good chance this is the kind of project that would list on Coinbase, especially given that real-world assets are becoming a much bigger talking point. And I think that is likely to continue over the coming year. There is never been the level of money that we're starting to see flow into crypto, especially since the Bitcoin ETF. We've got an Ethereum ETF now, so inevitably there'll be more. There's a good chance we could see a Solana ETF or a Cardano maybe down the line. And as more money begins to flow into these markets, as larger institutions realize that there's a ton of money that they could actually be making by tokenizing a lot of the real world assets, to introduce them into the blockchain, to get more trading, to draw out more liquidity from these real world assets that not necessarily have the liquidity that you can use in normal fashion, you're going to start seeing BlackRocks of the world and all these massive institutions going, oh, we can make a lot more money by tokenizing these. And it's round the corner. Now, the real question on tokenization of real world assets is length of time, because obviously there's going to be huge regulatory hurdles. But we could be seeing over the next 10 years an enormous surge in money that comes into these markets via real world assets. Is this year going to be the year? That's a really interesting question. In reality, it probably won't be, but I think there is a very high likelihood that real world assets is going to be a massive narrative that takes hold this year. So even if we don't necessarily see the money truly flow into real world assets in the sense of like institutions bringing that money in, I think we'll see the money flow into those assets because of speculative investments. And Reserve Rights is one of those that are pretty well positioned in the RWA space. So I actually look at this, and its previous high was pretty good, north of sort of 10 cents. I think we're probably, new all-time highs can't be guaranteed. It's only been through one cycle. I would be looking at least 6 cents as the target, though. That would still put it at quite a significant market cap of around $3 billion. But if real-world assets become a huge narrative that takes over, this could do way more. This could hit 10 cents. This could hit 15 cents. It's a very interesting one because, again, it's going to depend on the external narrative that takes hold. But from everything I'm seeing at conferences and from everything I'm hearing when I'm talking to other YouTubers and other companies in the crypto space, the real world asset, if it's not AI right now, real world assets are what people are looking at. So if that takes off and we really see this huge surge and we see this external narrative take hold in mainstream media, Reserve Rights could be a huge beneficiary of that. So one to have on your radar, especially if it lists on Coinbase, it could go way beyond 6 cents. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And guys, if you want to make the same profits as me in this bull cycle, you can do. All you have to do is jump onto copymycrypto.com and check out the site. Everything on the site is public record. You can verify it all on the history of this channel. You can see, if you go onto the site, what my members have made. You can see what I've said in the past, the successes we've had. It's all public record. If you don't have your portfolio sorted, now is the time, because we're in a bull cycle right now. In a few months, less than a few months, we're going to see a lot of coins trying for new all-time highs, particularly Bitcoin, particularly Ethereum, and then the altcoins take off. So if you don't have a portfolio sorted, or you've got the wrong coins in your portfolio, now is the time to do something about it. If you have a read of the site, you'll see what my members made. You'll see why thousands of people are on there. The profits have been great, and this year will be no different. So have a read through it all, check it all out, try it out, because it may well be able to help you out. And that's it from me, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.